The Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada now brings you Philippine NARS, news and features about the Filipino-American nursing community and beyond. And now, here's your host, Doris Bauer.
Well, good evening, Philippine NARS listeners and followers. Thank you for joining us today. We do appreciate your continued support. And as you know, Philippine NARS is brought to you by the PNANV, or the Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada, in collaboration, of course, with PHLV Radio. So today we have a special topic. An organization in our community called the Arc of Nevada will be giving out Excellence in Nursing Awards this fall. Nursing Excellence Awards are always appreciated by the hardworking nurses who excel in their particular field. So this is the first time for these awards from the Arc of Nevada. The Arc of Nevada was created to, and I'm quoting from their website, to help ignite the passion and energy of people with disabilities and their families to self-advocate in an effort to promote the well-being and the general welfare of people with developmental and related disabilities. So here to talk to us today about the Arc of Nevada and the upcoming Excellence in Nursing Awards is their Executive Director, Ms. Michelle Gorelow. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
That's great. That's great. I know that, Michelle, I was going to have you introduce yourself, but Michelle has been an advocate for women and children's healthcare issues for almost 25 years, right? And has been an active member of several committees and boards, including the Nevada State Maternal Child Health Coalition as a co-chair, and the Southern Nevada Maternal Child Health Coalition. She's the chair. Tobacco Prevention and Coalition, she's the secretary, and an advisory council on the state program for wellness and prevention of chronic diseases. You have anything else to add to that? You're a busy lady. Oh, and by the way, she is, well, technically, I guess until November, she is still an assembly person. Representing District 35 of Southwest Clark County.
Yes, well, thank you very much. You did a great job. I think you got it all. 25 years. Wow, it's been a long time, which is really interesting since I'm pretty sure I'm only 29. So,
yeah, you're right.
But my advocacy work, helping women and children healthcare issues, that eventually led me to the Arc of Nevada to help people that had disabilities, both intellectual and developmental. Really was my passion to run for office, and I was very proud and honored to serve 3 terms in the Nevada legislature and a part of the first women majority legislature in the country. So
you will be missed.
And I'm going to miss it as well.
That's great. Well, thank you again for being with us today. So, Michelle, can you share with us the mission and the vision and the work of the Arc of Nevada?
Absolutely. Our mission really is to promote and protect the human rights of individuals that have intellectual and developmental disabilities, and ensuring that they are supported in their communities, being a part of everyday life. And it used to be that wasn't the case. A lot of times, they were institutionalized and they didn't really get a choice on what they wanted to do. And so part of our organization is making sure they understand that they have that voice. They have a right to vote. They have a right to work. They have a right to decide what they want to do. And it amazes me how many people contact me through email, phone calls, through our website to ask, hey, can you help us with, disability insurance, applying for that. Can you help us with an IEP? And housing is another huge issue for people with disabilities. So we're young.
Wow, yes.
We've been around since 2015, started out as A-Team NV, and we affiliated in 2022 with the ARC of the United States. But we are super excited to be in the community and really wanting to grow our programs to help more people.
That's really exciting. This actually, over maybe in the last couple of months is the first time I've heard of your organization. So we're really appreciative that you can share with us today what your mission is. So, okay, so your organization is a nonprofit organization,
Yes.
and you already told us how long you've been in the community. So you have a board of directors, and you are the executive director, correct?
Correct. And the nice thing with our board, it's both professional and it's also families who have individuals, their children have disabilities. And one of them is Tom, who he has Fragile X, and he's on our board, and he lets us know exactly what he needs and what he wants, and it's awesome.
That's great. That's great. Well, what about the members of your organization? Are they volunteers? How do they fit in the work that's being done by your organization?
Yes, we only have one other person that's full-time, so there's only two of us in the office, and we are both salaried employees, but the rest are all volunteers, and we really couldn't do what we do without them.
Okay, great, great. So how do you get, you said, your referrals? I mean, obviously, there are a lot of disabled people in our community who need help, correct? How do you get your referrals? And what are the most common disabilities that you're working with?
We get our referrals a lot through other community partners, looking at organizations that may just be like the Down syndrome organization or cerebral palsy. We work very close with Opportunity Village as well. I would say off the top, it's probably cerebral palsy that is our number one, but it really ranges all around, especially the little ones. A lot of times their disability is a temporary disability. They were born premature and they need some help kind of catching up with their milestones, where other people might be something that they've had a stroke or an accident later on in life, and now they have become disabled. And so they're very different needs within the community.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned about Down syndrome and cerebral palsy, which is, you know, the most common disabilities you work with. How does your organization, the ARC of Nevada, help these people, and what are their basic needs?
Well, as I mentioned, we are a small organization. And so one of the things that we're working with is respite services. And that's really important, both for the caregiver and also the individual, because, you know, it can be very lonely for them. I have one gentleman which we're in contact with almost weekly, and all he does is really sit at home. He is in a wheelchair, he's nonverbal, but he has this communication device that is just absolutely fascinating on how he's able to communicate. And so, you know, he wants to get out, but it's very difficult. And he has expressed to me so many times, I want my mom to have a rest, so she doesn't have to take care of me all the time. I want to do stuff so that she can have a break. And so it really helps him, because otherwise he's at home in front of his computer, and it also helps his mom as well, because she's also there 24/7. So the respite service is the big one. We're working on an event on October 19th. We're going to go to Opportunity Village's Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely, if you're interested, contact us and I can give you more information.
Halloween, huh? Like
Yes, it's Halloween because it's the Opportunity Village. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's
creative.
Yeah, that's great. I like going to their Christmas display and stuff.
Yes,
so.
and it's the exact same location. It's the Magical Forest, only it's going to be decorated for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice. Very nice. So, you have obviously, well, let's see. We here in Las Vegas are a very diverse community, and I was just wondering if you had any statistics on how many disabled Asians or minorities do you actually service, or if you have any inkling on how many disabled people need help here in our community.
I think, unfortunately, with some of the minority populations, that they are very underrepresented, not knowing that services are available for them or how to access those services. And we talked about early intervention being one, where that's for infants to toddlers age 3, and most of them have been born with some sort of a birth defect, but it could also be a failure to thrive, so they're born low birth weight, or preterm. And I believe at 26 weeks, they automatically qualify for early intervention services, which, depending on the child, it's all individualized plan. They could get physical therapy, occupational, might be nutrition, speech. There's a whole plethora of services that they do qualify for. But they have to have an assessment first so that they find out that they meet the criteria and then what those services need to be. Again, it's individualized to each child. Only, according to statistics, it's like 9 to 12% are actually accessing those services. And that means there's probably 80% or more that are not accessing services that they qualify for.
Wow.
And when they're little, that's the easiest time to, work with them and advance them quicker. Sometimes, especially with preterm babies, they can learn those skills and reach their milestones. Others, it might be the difference of, like, a Down syndrome, might walk at 5 without therapy. They might be able to walk by 3.
Oh,
So those are the
wow.
things that are just so amazing to see, and to hear the families, my child couldn't roll over, and now they're running everywhere because they've received those services.
Okay, so if I was in need of your services, I would just call you guys, and then you are going to do, like, say, an intake and find out what we need, and then refer us to whoever your resources are. I think you got a lot of resources, right? To help. Is that about right?
It absolutely, actually, no.
Oh,
So I'm glad.
Good.
I'm so glad. It's a great question. How do you access those services? Usually it starts that a pediatrician might know that the child's a little bit delayed. When you go in and see the doctor asks you some questions. Is your child doing this? Is your child doing that? And they may suspect that there's a delay. Sometimes the parents are like, you know what? My other child was able to do, speaking at this time. This child's not. Sometimes it's the parent. You can always call us. However, the first place to start is with Nevada Early Intervention Services, which is a state program. And they will set you up with an organization. It could be us. Doesn't have to be us. There's several community organizations out there that would do the assessment to see if the child qualifies. The assessments are always at no cost to the families. If your child is determined to need services, again, those services are paid for by the state, and it does not matter of the family's income level. So if the child does need services, again, the family gets to choose. They can choose the ARC in Nevada, or they can go to another community provider.
Okay.
And interesting enough, you don't take your child someplace. They come to you.
Of course.
Which
yes,
is
yes.
so nice, because
Wow.
as you can imagine, having a little one, that can be challenging. And especially if you have maybe one car or no car or other kids that you need to pack up, it can be very challenging for some families being able to get to an actual clinic. But also, we want the child to be in the natural environment.
Yeah, of
So
course,
that way
yeah.
they're using their toys or maybe the furniture to help push themselves up. It's in their environment, and so it makes it easier for the child, and to actually educate the family on how to help their child progress.
Okay, very good. That's awesome. So I know there's so many levels of resources, and I know you do have that. Can you mention some of the resources from a state level and maybe a Southern Nevada level?
I think one of the great things with the state level is the respite services I mentioned. You can contact the state, and the state can pay for them if you meet certain criteria. And I apologize, I don't know exactly what the criteria
That's
is.
all right.
But the state would help you walk through, and they pay for the respite services every month. So you
Okay.
get so much money for that. The state's been looking a lot into housing. We have found
Housing.
that, yes, especially for people who have mobility issues, a lot of apartments, they're all stairs.
Yeah.
So how do you get up there? And so it makes it difficult that, if you have a wheelchair or a walker and you have to have a first floor, and then they don't have anything for you. So
okay. Okay.
that's a challenge. Locally, one of the places that I love working with is the Southern Nevada Legal Aid Center.
The legal aid. Yes.
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 They help so much, especially with guardianships, and just making sure that they receive services that they need. again, I had a family contact me. They needed help with their SSI, and I was able to refer them to a lawyer because I can only do so much. The lawyers,
Sure,
they're
sure.
the experts.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. So it's really great to learn about, these services because I'm pretty sure if you're new here or, even if you've been in the community for a long time, not knowing, where to go, that really makes a big difference. So
Yes.
that's good. I'm glad we are having this talk because now we can tell them, hey, you can do this.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. Does the ARC work with nurses? And what other healthcare professionals do you work with?
Well, we work with all sorts of healthcare professionals, and yes, nurses and doctors and pediatricians definitely are people that we work with, and then therapists, the speech therapist, physical therapist, occupational, but also nutritionists. That is very
Oh, yeah.
important. I think they're underrated also.
Yes, yes,
They are
correct.
so important, especially when you have people with disabilities that are medically related. Like sometimes it could be diabetes and also preventing the disability. So that's very, very important.
Yeah. So do you have any career opportunities in your organization for this healthcare professionals?
We're actually hiring for speech therapists, occupational, and physical therapists
Physical
right
therapists.
now for the early intervention program. As we expand, I can see us definitely looking into more areas.
That's good. That's good. That's great. Okay. So how can the community help the organization?
Well, donations are always helpful. That's really how programs are going to be able to expand. One of the things I've learned very quickly is when we are talking about healthcare professionals, we have to have liability insurance.
Oh,
And
yes.
so,
Yes. Definitely.
yes. And of course, there's workers' comp and those kind of things. So donations are always very appreciated. And that also helps us with a lot of our respite services that we provide people as well. We're looking at expanding programs to include some memory care. And also one that I am so excited about is bridging the technology gap.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those mentally disabled in that area. No, it's difficult, especially also for seniors who are, not in the know of the current technology. So
Well, and not just the technology and how to use it, but using it safely.
safely,
We
correct.
have all gotten those emails and those texts with people trying to scam us.
Yes.
And they're very vulnerable, and we need to make sure that they're educated on people not always being nice.
That's correct. I'm glad that's part of your service as well. That's great. That's great.
That one I am so excited about. We just got started with that about 2 weeks ago, and really looking forward to doing more training on that.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, we're looking forward to, to that and possibly get involved or something.
Oh, we'd love that.
So let's now talk about your upcoming event, the Excellence in Nursing Awards. Can you tell us about it and why and how did the ARC of Nevada decide to create and award nurses who excel in their respective fields?
Well, we know that nurses are really the unsung heroes. You guys are the backbone to healthcare. And we really felt the need to recognize and honor and celebrate the achievements of nurses across Southern Nevada.
Good, good. So this is your first time doing it, and it's going to be, we have a flyer actually, it's going to be on, the awards will be on November 23 at 5 p.m. at the Gold Coast Hotel and
Yes.
Casino. So what are the categories for the awards and what are the requirements? And is there still time for nomination?
There's definitely still time for nominations.
Okay.
And so I know that one graphic had a little QR code that'll take you to the nomination forms. But
Okay.
then you can also go to our website, which is arcnv.com. No, arcnv.org.
Okay, it's
.org.
.org.
It's .org.
Okay, you got it. arcnv.org.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's ARCNV as in Nevada.org.
Okay.
And we have over 20 categories. They're just a variety of them. We have advanced practice nurse, we have oncology nurses, we have pediatrics, emergency, critical care, general medical, surgical, women's health, just a whole bunch. Education is one. We also have home health and rehabilitation, both which deal very specifically with people with disabilities. And then we also have our Distinguished Nurse of the Year, which is a nurse who has been in nursing for at least 15 years. And that one is just nominated by their peers. They just have to submit, I believe, a CV is all we need from them, but it's their peers that will give them the recommendations. For the other categories, they need to complete a biographical form. And that just sort of is their opportunity to brag on themselves. And I know that can be hard.
So you can nominate yourself?
You can nominate yourself.
Okay.
So
no, I'm not nominating myself.
I think I'm nominating you. But yes, you can nominate yourself. You can nominate friend, family, someone who helped you when you were at the hospital, or maybe it was a clinic that you had to go to because you hurt yourself. I know my daughter was in gymnastics and she was always breaking stuff.
Oh,
so
my goodness. Yeah.
we ended up in a lot of quick cares.
Oh, okay.
So school nurses, that's something that I think a lot of people forget about. So
Yes.
So you can nominate really any nurse. And also, we have 3 categories that I'm so excited about. They're non-nurses.
Oh.
But they support nurses.
Yes.
And so we have, it's called Nurse's Choice. And the idea of that is a nurse will nominate someone who supports them on the unit. So it can be an administrator, it could be a CNA, or it could be support staff.
Okay, very good. These are really wonderful categories. I'm excited to do that. So we can purchase tickets for the gala just to go to your website?
Yes, you can go to our website and you just go under events and it'll be listed there.
Okay, it'll be listed there. I'm excited. So let's do this again. All the nominees must complete a biographical form for them to be officially a nominee. And what about the judging? They're judged by the category?
Yes, and we have a committee who's actually meeting right now, organizing the event.
Okay.
And so what we try to do is that committee is going to judge the biographical forms. The first thing we do is what we call our whiteout. So if you've got your name down, we white your name out so that it can be as blind as possible.
Sure.
If the nurse happens to work in, we'll say, women's health, they're not going to judge women's health because we know that it's a small community and people start realizing who's who. So they would probably do general med surg. And we've had it a couple times because I work with another organization that this event came from, where someone did recognize the nurse and they were very quick to say, I know who this is, you judge it. And they passed it off so that it could be as fair as possible. One thing I do like to let people know that sometimes when you're a nurse, you might think you fit one category, but you actually fit something else. Our committee will put you in the category we feel that you best fit at. You always will score higher, not lower.
Not lower,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I think I know the organization who died down a little bit.
They're not around anymore.
They're not around anymore, so no use to mention them. And I guess I was part of the committee to helping out. So, which is great. I really. So what's the deadline for the nominations?
October 4th is the deadline for the nominations.
Oh, that's coming soon.
It is very soon. However, the big thing we need is that biographical form. And you have until, I believe it's November 1st to fill that out. So you could technically skip that nomination part and just fill out the biographical form. And that just gives us an opportunity to let someone know that, hey, someone thought very highly of you and your skills and they wanted to honor you.
Okay, so you can find that biographical form in your website as well.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, well, let's see. We already covered the website, and it's the ARC.
NV?
No, arcnv.org. Right,
yes.
not V. ARC, ARC. NV.org.
Yes.
Okay. And you can you can nominate your peers, you can nominate yourself, fill out the biographical forms, and you can get the tickets to the gala, which is going to be held on November 23rd.
Yes.
At the Gold Coast. I
And
gotta
we're
buy my ticket.
still looking for sponsors and also silent auction items. So
Ooh.
lots of ways to get involved.
Yes, yes, yeah, lots of ways to get involved. Okay, that's great. Well, Michelle, this is such great information. Thank you so much for coming today. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. We are a young organization, so the more we can get the word out that we are here to help and to find out also what the community needs. Although we're small, you know, we're going to be growing. And when I know what people need, those are the areas we're going to go to.
Very good, very good. So, what is your message to the nursing community and the whole community as the community as a whole? First, in regards to the Nursing Excellence Awards, and secondly, about your wonderful organization.
Well, first, I want to say thank you to all of the nurses. You guys have done so much, especially the last few years. I don't think we can thank you enough, but we're going to try, and we're going to try with the Excellence in Nursing Award
Yes.
Gala. And then for us, you know, our vision really is to make the world a better place for everybody. Let's include everybody and be kind.
Yes, and behind. And actually, this is a special population that is the disabled population. Our organization is actually doing a seminar on becoming culturally fluent in October 19th. And this is a special population that needs a specific care and how to deal with this population. So I'm so glad you came here today.
Well, thank you. And just one last thing, that if a family does need language services, that is part of early intervention. So we will make sure that we have translators.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
If not in person, it's on the phone, but we will have somebody.
That's great. Yeah, we are a very diverse community here in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas, actually. So that's great. Well, thank you again so much, Michelle Gorelow, for gracing us with your presence today. It was indeed a learning experience for me, and I'm sure for the listeners, regarding the work of the ARC of Nevada. Also, thank you for organizing the Excellence in Nursing Awards coming up on November 23rd at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. And a shout out to all the nurses out there. Please visit the website arcnv.org for information on this event to give the awards for Excellence in Nursing. So coming up real soon. Okay. And to our listeners and followers, thank you again for joining us today. Thank you for giving us the privilege of your time. Be well and be healthy. This is Doris Bauer, your Philippine Nurse host, signing off for now.
The Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada has just brought you Philippine Nars, news and features about the Filipino American nursing community and beyond on PHLV Radio.